wrong. It's okay, girl.
It's
I'ma
gonna
be
be
alright
alright tonight.
tonight. You don't have to call. See, you see what I did there? Because
It's
what is this?
okay. Listen, that's the one I've been having in my mind because Usher's been on my mind.
See, well, Usher's on a lot of people's mind, though. But especially right now because it is Super Bowl weekend.
Yes, I am so looking forward to this halftime show. I am so looking forward to this halftime show.
There's a lot put on it right now. You know what I mean? It's Usher. He's a big name. He's
Usher, baby. It's Usher, baby. Listen, I'm a football fan, so I like the Super Bowl itself. But I am like, I'm so excited. So I hope that he, I hope that there's no way he cannot because he's got so many.
Right. There's no way that he cannot bring
so many jams.
Right. And it's going to be filled with dancers. He's going to have like a whole
Dawn, I'm
stage
so
presence.
Excited. You would think that I was like, I'm so excited. And it's only I think 14 minutes.
Well, that's the thing. So, most halftime shows clock in at like 13 minutes. His is going to be the longest performance in NFL history by an additional 2 minutes. So he's slated for 15 minutes.
Look at you bringing the facts. Look at you bringing the facts.
Do a little something. We growing and moving forward in 2024. That's what we doing. That's probably going to be the only accurate facts that I have for y'all. But it's out there. I have established it. But yeah, so that's like I said, a history, making history kind of deal. I don't know if it's making history, but as far as the Super Bowl halftime show goes, he is having the first longest halftime show. So with that time, I know he's going to use it wisely. He's just coming off of his.
He's got so many. He's got so many. He's got to do. Yeah.
Oh
yeah!
I feel like he's probably. Yeah. What do you think he's going to start with? Let's call it right now because we're recording it right now. By the time we post this, it's going to be after the Super Bowl.
Correct.
So let's see. We're calling it right now. We're going into the future a little bit. I feel like he would not have to, but I feel like he would start with that. That's a hype one right there. And you know what I mean? To get the crowd going, I think he would start with,
A-Town down. There's no way. Right. So that's what I'm leaning toward because that just is listen, that song is how many years old? It's got to be almost 20 years old?
Yeah.
That song does not disappoint ever. You put that song on in a crowd, you can't help. I get hyped just thinking about it. I mean, I can't help but
make me want to go out and get some denim jeans and some white sneakers and a baseball cap.
Man, it just absolutely. So
and like you said, he has a list. I can't even think of titles right now that to come to my head, but sticks out as like
Then don't forget he's got so many slow jams too, but that's like not Super Bowl. That's not the vibe we're going with for the Super Bowl. So I'm thinking, he's got.
I think I read somewhere that Alicia Keys is slated to be a special.
I heard too. So that's my
for
boo,
my boo.
Kind of
that's a slower one.
That's kind of groovy, but that's it's good. It's good. You can still vibe with it at the Super Bowl.
But they said it's been kind of mum on if there's going to be any other special surprises.
If he did not, he would. I mean, if he could do Ludacris and
Lil Jon
and Lil Jon,
yes,
that would be. I mean, you can't go wrong with Lil Jon,
right?
Right. I mean, because he's a hype man. He's on hype it up.
Exactly.
I want to hear "Caught Up." That's my jam.
Yes.
I mean, I love it. I would sing it, but I don't want to offend anybody. I love.
I think he's going to do "Hey Daddy" or "Daddy's Home." I feel like that's going to.
You know the relationship I have with "Hey Daddy." I love that song.
I feel like he's going to bring the grown and sexy to somebody. He's going to have the hype, and he's going to bring the grown and
Do
sexy.
people
So Hey
know about
Daddy's gonna
Hey
be
Daddy? Does like I mean, like I know we know about Hey Daddy, but does
right.
like mainstream know about Hey Daddy? I don't think that they do.
I think so. I think
Do
it's
you? Say hey, hey, hey
Hey
daddy,
Daddy.
hey, hey,
Yeah,
hey
he's
daddy.
gonna bring that one.
Okay,
I feel
and
like it's gonna be
then
in the lineup.
he could go pit bull on us
Yes.
tonight. No, that's not DJ Guys Fall in Love. He could,
Yep.
yeah, that's DJ Guys Fall
Yep.
in Love. He
That
could
sure
do,
is.
he could go that way. He's got so many collabs. He could do oh my gosh. He could do that with Will I
Well,
Am
we'll see. He was in their
halftime show.
performance. Yeah.
Do they
So I
do
don't
that on
know.
theirs?
Yep.
Oh, do
Because that's why
they?
he was. He was a
Okay.
surprise
Okay.
appearance.
So let's scratch that. Let's scratch
Well,
that.
There Goes My Baby is another one, but it's
That's
a
a
little
slow. He's
slower.
got some slow jams.
Yeah.
He could bring.
My Way. I feel like he's going to do.
Oh, oh, I love it. That's my jam.
Yes, you know what I mean. Let me see who.
It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop. What if the Super Bowl halftime show starts exactly at 7 o'clock? So he opens it up by singing "It's 7 o'clock on the dot."
Now, what time does the Super Bowl start?
Like at 5:30 ish.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
that
could be
would be
making that
kind.
up.
That would be
I could be
kind of
making it
slick.
up.
Look, we're saying it right now. Again, we're pre-recording this before the Super Bowl. So if it happens to be, that would be slick right there. It's 7
I don't know
o'clock
what
on
time
the
the Super
dot.
Bowl. So let me see what time it starts with. What time it starts? Start
Oh, that would
time.
be. See, listen, we need to be PR people or
Okay, so it starts
assistants
at
to
6:30. So
what the Super
I
Bowl.
mean, yes, possibly no. So there's no way by 7 o'clock he can get to that. That would have been so sweet
Oh,
though if
that would
he
have been
could have.
nice.
If it would have started at 6, because you possibly could get to those 2 quarters in an hour.
Right.
And if he could have started at 7. That's the whole thing though. I guess there's no way of knowing, depending on how long the first and second quarter last.
Yeah.
Since we know they're not going to be 15 minutes. So
Now listen, we got Caught Up. What about Love in This Club? Maybe he might bring out Beyonce. Maybe Lil Wayne.
Oh, there's so much
In
he
this
can
club.
do.
In this club. Oh, with a whole dance routine. Oh man. Oh, Bad Girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah. New Flame. Maybe he might bring out Chris Brown. Chris Breezy.
Oh,
If that happens, I'm passing out. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I know. And I know that I have a few listeners on here who do not like that I like Chris Brown, but
Why?
I'm sorry, because his reputation isn't the best.
Tis true.
But
Tis true.
I don't know what he's done lately or recently. But they're like, he's just a bad individual. And I'm like, we don't really know these people. We really don't know how they are.
Right.
And
right.
what we do know about them, we don't know how much time has passed or what's happened since then. What's the point in forgiveness if we're not going to give people an opportunity to change? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So
plus
his
actions to set aside from that is, to me, nothing to do with the jams that the boy put out.
It doesn't. Listen. Oh man.
You remind me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go back. No, go back. You remind me. Come on.
I'm done. I'm just saying.
Confessions.
Oh no. What Caught Up? You remind me. What was the one? No, maybe it was You Remind Me.
So excited. I'm sorry. What?
I was saying it was You Remind Me, but like I said, it just depends on where he's going to keep it at and go, because even Lovers and Friends, Ludacris and Lil Jon again.
That's
you know
what
what
I'm saying.
I mean?
That's why he could have them out, because they've got multiple songs they could do together.
Right.
And then he could transition from that, keep Ludacris out, and bring out Justin Bieber, and then do a whole little, I don't know. My mind.
You make me want to lead. I feel like he gonna take it back. He's gonna bring us down memory lane. That's what it is. Because while he does have maybe some current songs, even that song with the BTS boy, Jean Captain Hook.
Listen,
what is an impact
that's
is
a
his
great
older
song
stuff.
too. That's a great performing song.
So yeah, I'm telling you,
he could do a hologram of Jungkook on the stage with him, dancing while they sing that song.
Why would he do a hologram?
Because he's in the army right now.
Who? Captain Hook?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he locked up. They won't let him out.
And I doubt the South Korean army would let him come home to perform at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, what kind of request would that be? Hey, do you mind if I just fly over America real quick to perform a song? I'll be right back though.
That would be awesome. Oh my goodness, Dawn.
Okay, so are we in agreement that the starting song is possibly yeah?
You know they take bets on these things in Vegas. And they take bets on these things in Vegas.
No, I said, do they?
Yeah, no, they do. No, I'm reiterating. Yes, they take bets on these things. They take bets on these things in Vegas. And yeah, is probably it seems the most obvious, which makes me think that he won't choose it.
Plot twist. You right.
So I don't know, but I'm telling you what, I haven't been more excited about a Super Bowl performance. I was excited about Rihanna last year.
Yeah.
Because I love me some Rihanna. And while I think she did great, she did wonderful, it wasn't it just wasn't as
much
as hype as I wanted it to be. Yes. And I understand that. She's on a platform, she's pregnant. She can only do so much. I get all that.
But her dancers was bringing it though.
Huh?
Her dancers were bringing it.
Oh man, no, all day. All day. And so I just want more. The last one I was real hype about was, this has been some years, was Bruno Mars when he came out. Well, actually, I think it was Coldplay's, but Coldplay brought out Bruno Mars and Beyonce. So really it turned into the Bruno Mars Beyonce halftime show.
Yeah, but they brought it though.
That was the last one that left me like, so.
That wasn't hers? I thought it was hers and she brought him out.
I thought it was Coldplay's and he brought both of them out.
Oh. Well, because if that's the case, then they showed him up. I don't even remember them.
That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. One with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and Mary J. Blige was good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That I feel like the one with Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, all them, that was like a vibe kind of one. You know what I mean? It was. It's like, oh yeah, we grooving out. But Usher gonna have me clearing out a dance space because I'm gonna be right beside him. 5, 6, 7,
me too. He doesn't realize this, but I am one of his backup dancers. Remote. I'm a remote backup dancer.
Going right in talking about so what can I expect payment for my performance?
Listen, I'm like, I was right there with you. Can y'all send me the Zoom link so I can remote remote.
Listen, go ahead and hologram me in with Captain Hook. Because I'm bringing it.
I'm gonna be doing it there. I'm gonna be doing it, just not there. I am right next to him.
Oh man, like you said, I'm hype now, and even just now talking about, I'm hype again because I know he bet. What's the new saying now? These young folk be saying, and left no crumbs. Like he ate
that.
He ate that and left no crumbs. I don't.
That's a whole other podcast conversation.
He ate that and left no crumb. But as hype as I am, I know there's no way he's going to disappoint, but I just hope it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like I hope he's able to make it do what it do. That's all.
So speaking of fit, I don't know how to transition into this.
Speaking of fit black males, no.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. But I was trying to how'd you know what I was going to say?
Because we ride the same brain wave.
Fit black males, since we were on the topic of Usher, and then we went to Mr. Chris Brown.
Right, Breezy.
I watched iRobot.
mm, mm, mm. From that comment, I already know what you're talking about. That first opening scene.
Dawn?
When he was singing Stevie Wonder.
Dawn.
Yeah, I tell you what, a piece of art. A work of art.
Listen to me.
A masterpiece.
Okay, so it wasn't just me.
No, that's why I'm no, like, especially when that movie first. Now, how old is iRobot? Good googly.
It's 20 years old.
When that first came out, trust me, that was a buzz. And if our friends, hey friends, I know we always like to say hi,
goodness.
but
We didn't even say hi to everybody.
I know, so rude of us. How y'all doing? What's up?
Hi, everybody.
But back to what you were saying. For our friends who may not have seen it, like Beth claims she didn't, there is a opening scene of Mr. Will Smith that shows off his physique in a very sultry way.
I'm just gonna say this. I have never. I like Will Smith. I love Will Smith, and we've talked before on previous podcasts about his current entanglement with his
quote unquote
special wife.
Right.
Special wife,
special friend.
Right, and their special relationship, and how that's not my favorite thing. I've always liked Will Smith. There's not a lot to not like about Will Smith, but to be honest with him, I've never thought of him as like
the sex symbol of Hollywood.
Never thought of him that way. I mean, he's a decent looking guy. He's not bad looking, but he's just always been funny and goofy, and was never. That's all I thought.
Go ahead.
I did not understand.
Go ahead.
I see Smith in a whole new light now.
And I feel like if you had a recollected that you've seen this before,
I've never seen the movie before. I'm telling you, I watched the movie. I've never seen the movie before. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I've seen maybe random scenes. I've never seen that movie before.
And now, like I said, I'm saying that you haven't, because that alone would have left an impact. Like I'm telling you, when the movie hit, that was the talk of the town. That was like, oh,
Mr. William. Mr. Smith was Mr. Smithin'. As
Smithin' all day. Don't know him by no other name. I would never have
thought of him any other way. And I just said that.
I know.
Whole time?
The whole time.
I mean, back when you was in Bel Air?
And the thing is, because he's older now. Like you said, that movie alone is 20 years old.
I think he's like at 50 now, but he still looks the same. I mean,
right. But I'm saying, like, when that hit, that and Ali, because I hear that he was pretty built in Ali as well. But iRobot, I'm telling you, he was fit. He was just fit. I can't see it. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I'm not literally. I put the movie on, and to be honest with you, I put it on as I was like, okay, I have to do my homework. Let me put this movie on while I think I was cleaning the kitchen and cooking and all that kind of stuff. So I was like,
as a background,
put it on background, so I can at least say that I've watched it and know about it. And I happened to look up at the opening credits. I said, "Excuse me,
Shaggy, what is this? Another clue?"
I said, maybe the dishes and the food can wait for a second. Let me sit down and watch this movie.
So aside from the opening credits of Will and his spectacularism, what did you think?
I don't know if that's his natural or what, but he
put in work.
He did. He
put in work.
He understood the assignment.
Oh, that's another one, right? He understood the assignment. But what you think of the movie, though? You see what I'm saying?
It was actually really good. I feel like they don't make movies like that anymore.
Not really. And that's a sad thing, too, because it's one of those, especially like even me, like I've seen it, right? If I go back and watch it now, I would really appreciate it. Like, man, that's just a good movie. I can't, what took me so long to watch it again? It's one of those, most definitely.
I really did. I liked it. And I find a lot of movies now to be like, it was action packed, but it wasn't like gory, violent. Like all the movies now are either like super gory or like Satan's hanging out in the living room somewhere, or I mean, it's like
Satan has snapped off your movie ticket to go see. He works
I
in the front
mean,
desk.
it's like they're either like real, like that,
Right.
or they're gory, or they're like Oppenheimer, where they're like super smart and like the thing. I don't like history. I just want like
To be entertained, to sit back and just
entertaining,
be like,
action
yeah.
packed, but without having to kill 1,000 people. In this movie, the only casualties were other robots. You know what I mean? Were robots.
Right.
I mean, so I really enjoyed it. I liked it.
In being that he is a goofy kind of guy, and he's played serious roles, but even in this movie, it had its funny parts, but not like it was trying to be a knee slapper. It was just like a well balanced movie.
I did, yeah, it really was. I liked. Listen, I don't know what's going on with me, but like I felt bad for Sunny.
Well, yeah, you were supposed to like. I feel like that was the part, like, you know what I mean, and that's why it was even so hard for Will Smith's character, because he had a prejudice against.
Well, he was part robot, right?
Now, why you gonna get now? We might have some that ain't seen it yet, and we're probably intriguing them and making their ears perk. And now you just gave part of the movie away, Heifer.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. But yeah,
it's 20 years old.
Right, you're right. But do you know how long it took me to watch Castaway? That's a whole nother subject. But
I've never seen that one either. Was it good?
Oh, Beth, that's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be giving you movie assignments. Check that one out. Now, for me, I did have to. You know how there's certain movies you have to be in a mood to watch, right? It's just like, and so when Castaway came out, it took me, and no exaggeration, years to watch it, because I was just like, I kind of get the gist of it. I kind of get what it's about. It was a buzz as well. So it just took me a minute. But when I did, I was like, man, you mean to tell me
so it was good
this way? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, check that one out.
Is it like Forrest Gump good?
Tom Hanks is such a phenomenal actor. When I say yeah, but it's totally different from Forrest Gump, but being that it's Tom Hanks. You know what I mean?
It's a movie that stands the test of time. Like, there are a few movies to me that stand the test of time.
I would put Castaway up there, because I think of it.
Forrest Gump is one of those.
Yes. And so I feel like those kind of movies where there's quotes that last the test of time. So when you hear Wilson, like, that's Castaway. That's just a thing. There's so many like
takeaway things like that.
Yes. Yeah. Now back to iRobot though. So like I said, my whole point of you watching that was because when you were sharing your stories about Queen Latifah and Siri and all this stuff, like I said, I'm not shocked. You see what iRobot was about. They were so quote unquote perfect that they really were imperfect.
But first of all, Sonny was only doing what he was told. It all comes back to the human who programmed him, right? It wasn't really him going rogue. He was still doing, right? He was doing what he was
being rogue against those that went rogue. So, I mean, I don't know. They all related. They all cousins.
And
was Queen Latifah turned off when you were watching that?
She was.
Okay, good. Because I'm telling you, put some
she
thoughts
was
in her
sleeping.
head.
Well, at least she was supposed to be sleeping. She was docked in her station. And then, but then on the end, he helped them. He was the one who really dismantled the establishment.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, but it was still. I mean, it was only one of him though. How many of them? Well, and it was a thing. I feel like
because he was doing bad, but at the same time, he was doing good. He was like,
and I thought it was pretty cool how it was, to me, a lot about like even the new against the old. So like all the old robots were good because they didn't have that upgrade, and so they knew that those old robots.
Gen X.
They knew that the old robots would save their owners and stuff. That's why they were trying to get rid of them and putting them away and stuff. Yeah, it was
all those new ones, Gen Z. No, just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I promise you, I'm just joking. Any Gen Zers out there, I love you guys.
Oh, your daughter's gonna get us.
I know.
Oh man, but we love you, Smoochie. We love you. We love you.
No,
No, but
just joking.
I'm so glad that you watched it. So first of all, high five, buddy. Second of all, you seen what I was talking about. That was all I'm saying. It's like when you were telling me this stuff, that's why I'm like, Beth, I believe you. Because have we learned nothing from iRobot?
Right.
There you go. What did he say when he was like interrogating him? And your boy, Sonny came strong, boy. Your boy said, I did not murder him. Like, yeah.
Them blue eyes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Would he say, I love that he gave Will a run for his money. Like anything Will would say, he's like, "Is that why you? Can you?" Yeah. Would he say, "Can you draw a masterpiece?" No. Can you?
That sounds like my niece.
Innocent. So innocent. Did you see little Shia LaBeouf in there?
Oh, I did not know Shia LaBeouf was in that movie.
Just a little small.
And I love Shia LaBeouf, even though you know he needs some love right now too. He needs
he's struggling. He's struggling a little bit.
He needs a big hug.
And it's so crazy because at one point, Shia was on top. Like he had Transformers. There's another movie that Shia LaBeouf is in. I think it's called Eagle Eye. I think that's the name of it.
Oh, that's a great movie. Now I saw that one. That's a great
movie. And I feel like he was in his prime. Like he was on the come up. But the next thing you know, my baby had an episode or something, and it just took a turn for I was like, whoa, Shia.
I honestly, I mean, I know everybody has to be held accountable for their actions and all that, everything. I mean, I totally agree, but I feel bad lots of times for some of these young actors who grow up in the spotlight. I feel like it's doomed if they don't have somebody beside them who is keeping them in check and grounded.
Yeah.
It is really easy for them to kind of go off because, as we talked about before, I think Hollywood is a dog eat. I mean, it's a dog eat dog world. And so
these ones that start off young get thrown to the wolves.
Yep. They get thrown to the wolves and all, for the name of fame. And if they don't have that stabilizing factor, or they don't have somebody like, sitting next to them, like, keeping them,
putting them under their wing and actually be on the up and up
100%, then it's so easy for them to go off. So I kind of have a soft spot for the Shia LaBeoufs and the Justin Biebers and
Amanda Bynes. Lord have mercy. Amanda Bynes. Remember she was
Amanda Bynes. Yeah, all these ones that I just feel bad for them really more than anything. My heart hurts for them because I just feel like they needed direction, and now they're grown, and so
and by the time they get to that point, right, so they're grown decisions. And people will say, oh, they're crazy. No, they thought that they had people in their corner that took advantage of whatever the situation may be. They got trust issues
when they were young. When they were young and they were still like mentally not fully developed and trying to figure things out. So it's I feel bad for them. I really do. I try not to. I don't judge them. I try not to judge them when they
take a route like that.
Yeah, I just more than anything, I just feel like they're they've just been abused. You know what I mean? And not I don't mean to. Who knows what kind? I'm just saying they've been
at some point. Like every action has a reaction. So they didn't just get to that from
taken advantage of.
Right.
They've been something is all transpired, and that's kind of what they react. They're reacting to what they've been through, and so you don't know how you would react in that same situation. So I just kind of.
It's a tough one.
I give them a little bit.
Listen, and thank you for joining us now for Dr. Beth and Dr. Dawn's segment on abused Hollywood stars. No, but listen, we didn't turn. We were like, yeah. It's a shame, listen, we're an upper and a downer. Like, we go party. It's so sad that, it gets so serious and then. Okay, and real quick, circling back because that's what we do. If y'all haven't caught on by now, you get it on the Super Bowl. So we said for the halftime. I feel like now the Super Bowl is the 49ers, correct, against the Kansas City Chiefs,
Boo.
which is going to bring into light your friend, Miss Taylor Swift. This is me, right? This is how my mind works. Because there was already stuff about how it was scripted that I don't know if you've seen that about a few weeks ago. There was this thing where a news channel on the bottom of the screen, like, the news was on, and at the bottom of the screen, they had already called out who the teams were that were going to play against each other for the Super Bowl before they even like were in their spots to be playing to see who goes. And so a lot of people like, hey, right there, it shows you it's scripted. It's all,
Did it say 49ers and Chiefs?
I think so. And this was before before they had even played against the
But
last teams they had to go against.
they said the same thing though for the Super Bowl logo. The Super Bowl logo, has these different colors in it, and it says the colors in the Super Bowl logo are always the colors of the
teams,
the last two teams that are, the teams that are going to the Super Bowl. Well, the logo I saw had my Ravens purple in there. So they were saying, see, this is showing you that they already know who's going to win because it was purple and red.
Oh.
Well, red is in the 49ers and red is in the Chiefs. There's not purple, I don't think, in any other team besides the Ravens, but there's one other team, I think, besides the Ravens.
Isn't it the Saints or something like that?
The Saints I think they do have purple in them. I was hoping from a Ravens.
I don't even know where they're from. Who is the Ravens?
Baltimore.
Oh, okay, right.
I was all in it for. I was hoping it was going to be a Ravens Chiefs Super Bowl, and I was hoping that the Baltimore Ravens would win because I don't have anything specifically against the Chiefs, but I'm just done hearing about them. I'm done hearing about them.
It's so funny. Listen, and I'm sitting here thinking, as you're saying this, I'm cracking up to myself because even if you know it or not, I feel like already people are always looking for you to start some stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. It's okay. But so even you saying that you wanted the Ravens, because I know, some of our listeners, some of them are our close friends anyway. So, and sports people. So I know they're going to be like, I can't believe, but what Beth know about football? What do you mean she wanted the Ravens?
I'll tell you what I do know. I like me some Lamar Jackson, who is the Ravens quarterback. And I've seen this man do magic tricks on the field. And so I was so excited and like ready and waiting for him to go to the Super Bowl. So I called it. I don't know. I told my husband like months ago, I'm like, I'm calling it. It's Ravens and Chiefs. Didn't want it to be the Chiefs, but I mean, let's face it. Like I said, I'm not a hater. I might have very unpopular opinions, and I might
ugly.
Might be opinion, huh?
He's ugly.
Dawn. Who?
Lamar Jackson.
Well, I mean, I didn't say that he was cute. I just said he performed magic on the field.
But usually if you got magic, that means you got looks, and he ain't got that.
Well, but guess who is on the team that kind of pulls up for him?
Who's that?
OBJ. So he kind of makes up for it.
OBJ?
Odell Beckham. Come on.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Odell.
No?
I'm looking. Hold on, because I was expecting something with
What?
Do you know anybody else? Because let me just look. See, and that's how I base my
go to Odell Beckham back in his. Okay, so if you don't see it in the Ravens,
but that's how what I was going to say was that's how I base my quote unquote predictions on which team is going to win, which one got the cutest players. And so
okay,
far,
so look at Odell Beckham.
Ravens,
see if you can find a picture, maybe without his beard. See if you can find him back in his blonde-haired, dready days, with short dreads, blonde hair, not even dreads, like ringlets.
Yeah, I see it.
No. Okay.
Mm.
I'm an Odell Beckham fan.
I just feel like I can see why the Ravens didn't win. That's why the Ravens didn't win.
I'm not even talking about their look. I'm saying that
that's why they didn't win, Beth.
I was just a fan.
That's why they didn't win.
Of Lamar Jackson Well, I
Yeah.
mean, but okay, so you're now staying on the Kansas City Chiefs. Who are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm looking them up now too, because I'll
You
tell
don't
you if they're
know
gonna.
you don't know who Patrick Mahomes is?
I do, but I mean, well, that's the start. They're not going to win if it's based solely on him. Uh, so give me a moment to do a little
Okay,
research
I
as we
will say,
speak.
okay, now they do. All right. So you're my best friend's boyfriend,
Oh, right.
Travis
Okay.
Kelsey.
So now what we've done is raised it 50-50. So I'm trying to bring up the Chiefs, even just the
Travis,
lineup. Let me get the starting lineup at least. Kansas City team, team pick or something.
Travis Kelsey, he's a decent looking guy. I mean, he's got some swag about him.
And that brings it up. That's
So
what
that
brings it
brings
up. Because,
he's definitely
yes.
got the swag. But Odell has some swag. Odell
Maybe it's just
definitely.
because I haven't seen it, but they
So that's who
listen.
I was hoping. Huh?
All I keep seeing, like I keep typing in Kansas City Chiefs, and
I
the only thing that's coming up is
Taylor
Patrick
Swift.
Mahomes, and it's like,
I'm surprised you didn't Google Kansas City Chiefs and see Taylor Swift.
oh well, she's in some of the picks, but I don't know.
And that's what it is about that. I have nothing against Taylor Swift as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I don't like. I'm not a hater. When people talk about haters, I don't hate just because I don't. Something is not my favorite doesn't mean that I hate it. So even though her music is just so to me, some of it I like. Some of her, she's got some jams, but I'm not like a diehard whatever Swiftie or whatever.
Yeah,
And I'm not a hater. I think she's a pretty girl. She's probably very nice, and I think she's talented. But I'm not like all on board with her. But I have a problem with people when I get oversaturation of something. It makes me not like it. So
because you want to go against the grain.
I.
Oh, that's popular. Oh, you guys like it? I hate it.
No,
I hate it. That's what happens.
So
It fuels the fire. Beth doesn't want to be a part of the crowd. So if the crowd is going,
true.
yes, if the crowd is
I
going
want to be a
left, guess
part
where
of
you're gonna
all
find
the
Beth?
crowds. I'm part of a great crowd. What are you talking about?
If you find the crowd going left, where's Beth gonna be? Look to your right. Look to your. There she
Not
is.
true.
Going the opposite direction.
Not true.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, Kansas City Chiefs are losing. But what's going to bring them back up?
Kansas City Chiefs are losing?
Yeah. Because I'm
Against the
looking.
49ers?
Yeah, because I'm looking at the team. Let me look up this.
Okay, gotcha.
Let me look up the 49ers and see what they're working with.
Well,
because it might be a 50-50 game. They're going to.
If you're basing it off a quarterback start there, it's going to be 50-50.
Listen, hold on. San Francisco. Because what's going to happen is if both teams are lacking, it's going into overtime. I call it right now. Okay. Mark my words. San Francisco. How you spell San Fran? There we go. 49ers. Oh, no. Oh, Lord, my thingy is just all over the place. Hold on. Oh, Lord, stop that. Anyway, let's so moving on. So I was saying before we started, you took me down this rabbit hole of trying to figure out what these dudes look like. So the Kansas City Chiefs, I felt like based on let's go with the thought that all this is scripted. No. Listen, let's go with the thought of, okay, this is all scripted. There's bigger hands at play that can,
that determine whether or not they win or lose. Okay.
I said, like, going with that thought, what's going to happen is Kansas City Chiefs are going to win. They're going to rush the field, and Travis Kelsey is going to propose to Taylor Swift in this whirlwind romance. Again, this is pre-recorded, so if this stuff happens, know that I know my stuff. But that, if we're going along the line of that, for media, for the whole big picture of what are you at the bottom of, ma'am? What cocktail are you mixing together right now that you just can't?
I didn't know if you could hear that or not.
Yeah. Yeah. What you mixing up on your
I'm not mixing up anything. I'm just kind of like, I have ice in the bottom of my cup, and so I'm kind of just trying to like get like make it cold with the ice that's in there. At the bottom. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't know you could hear that.
Yeah, ma'am. I was like, oh, clinking the clink, 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 clink. And had the nerve to not even try to talk over it to mask it. Clink, 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 clink.
Because I was thinking maybe you couldn't hear it since you didn't say anything.
Well, because 3 minutes before I spoke, I was hoping that it wouldn't take me that long to mix whatever you were mixing. This heifer. Okay. Brought up the 79ers. The San Francisco 49ers. Okay, so this Brock 50, Purdy, he's
50-50.
Yeah, they're going into overtime.
It's 50-50.
Brock Purdy, why does he look like somebody's little brother? Like,
I think he was like, I don't know much about the 49ers, but I think that he was like the second to last or the last. And I'm sure if somebody knows the real answer, they're probably yelling at me because I'm saying it wrong. The last or second to last draft pick when they had the draft, so he wasn't even.
Oh, so he's an underdog.
He was not even right. And here he is in the Super Bowl. And Patrick Mahomes, it is what it is. He's a great quarterback. So I'm not surprised that they're there. And it's not like I don't want them to be rewarded if they're a good team. They're a great team. So
yeah,
they probably, if they win, they deserve it. I just,
yeah, I'm disappointed.
I like to go for, I like to go for an underdog for sure. I'm always going to root for the underdog in a team.
Okay.
Always. And so I was just kind of hoping that it would,
be Lamar.
Yes, I was hoping it'd be the Ravens in there, and I'd be rooting for my Ravens at this point. So I'm going for the 49ers because I want them to win. Because
now,
they're the underdog,
or as I like to say, the crowd is saying the Chiefs.
Has nothing to do with it.
Beth is going to say,
oh my gosh, don't you naturally root for the underdog? I do, unless I've got some ties to the person on.
But see, to me, an underdog is someone. An underdog is someone who doesn't have the same abilities or lack of, like, this dude ain't got no lack, because that's why he made the team. It's just,
but Patrick Mahomes has been to the Super Bowl 4 times.
Well, look at him. He got to rest on something.
Shut up.
He ain't got no other choice but to win, Beth. That's what I'm saying. He is.
What I'm saying is, though, is that he's got the experience. He's been under this pressure before. You know what I mean? He knows what it's like going into it. This other dude doesn't.
Well, whose fault is that, Beth? Hold on. Wait a minute. Sorry.
What is that?
I'm stirring up my drink.
Oh. I thought that was like some kind of, like, you had some adding machine over there, like crunching numbers or something. I didn't know what that was. You was going to come up with some statistics. I don't know what I thought that was.
Oh, shoot. So we got the Super Bowl. So, okay. I think I'm done with the Super Bowl. And let me see. We said the halftime. We said that, yeah. I said that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win, and Travis, something's going to happen. There's going to be some. So. Well, even I was about to say, if not even a proposal, but some grandeur gesture is going to take place where everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, did you see?" And like Taylor's going to say something like, "I want your babies" or something, and then it's just going to be a thing. That's all I'm saying.
Did you see her at the Grammys?
Yes.
Never mind.
I'm trying to think.
Let's not even go there. You didn't watch it. You didn't watch it. And let's not pretend like you did. Let's not have you come stating some facts about the indigenous person that won the Grammy Award, and I asked you what song they sang, and you're like,
I am shocked to my foundations. Heifer. One time, Beth. One time. and you hold it against me. For your information, that's why I keep my tablet with me now, so I can quickly check facts before I put it out there. Heifer, we growing 2024. I learned my lesson. But what about, and the reason I hesitated was, I know there was a lot going on. Yes, the Grammys, because there was buzz. Jay-Z made his speech, and it was so funny. I felt like it fell in line right after we had our episode about, I feel like there were,
when you mentioned,
singers that are considered, who are greatly underrated or underappreciated compared to Beyonce,
or the ones who are overrated, who are just
right
decent.
And then Jay-Z gave this speech talking about if my lady then won all these Grammys for songs, how come she still hasn't won a Grammy for album of the year? And it was funny.
And he even made the comment, he goes, some of y'all feel like you're getting robbed. Some of you will get robbed. And some of you don't even belong in the category.
Right.
That was the one to me. That was that statement was, all right. I ain't saying.
But I'm saying.
Right.
Okay. I thought the same thing too. And then talking about I'm sorry, I tell the truth when I get nervous. Well, you don't seem like a brother that gets nervous a lot, so you be lying all these other times. Watch yourself, Jay-Z. You can walk yourself into a trap. Don't let them do it to you, bro. But yeah, I felt like it was, and it's so funny because now when Jay-Z does it, and because he's talking about Beyonce, it's like, yeah, that's right. And when Kanye does it,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. Think about that, folks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, he didn't interrupt anybody. Yeah, he had his time up there. But I'm just saying, as far as even the statements and the claims that he's talking about, which were some of the statements and the claims that Kanye mentioned. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, how is it right for him? Or like, oh yeah, that's right. But Kanye doing it, but he's crazy. Get him off the stage.
I mean, and it probably because he is a little bit.
Yeah. But so that don't mean he's not right.
But doesn't mean that he's not right.
He just has a funny way of saying it.
A broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Say. Okay. If that's what they say,
that's not what they say.
I'm gonna go with you on it. Like, we do need to videotape it, because if you can see my face, I was like, that caught me completely off guard. I'm like, right.
Oh man,
what is it again?
A broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Oh, I'm going to have to Google it.
Because listen, if a broken clock is set at, say it just happens to break at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
At 1 p.m. and 1 a.m., that clock is going to be right.
Okay.
Even though it's broken.
Okay. Now, after doing research, it is brought out that the phrase, even a broken clock is right twice a day, is an idiom that means that even if someone or something is considered unreliable, they/it can be right on occasion.
Bam.
So, okay. But you pulled that out of, I don't know where you put, because even you was questioning it, Heifer, so don't talk about some bam.
Don, I got
what?
So much in there.
You just don't know what's gonna come out.
I got so much in there.
But yeah, so what were you gonna say about Taylor at the Grammy? So I knew that.
Nothing.
Put the cup down, Beth.
I don't have the cup up.
Now I know. So there was a clip of her, and she was at a table. Who was she with? Ice Spice. Which we got to have a whole nother episode about all this new stuff. And oh goodness. Anyway, she was at the table with Ice Spice, and some other guy was at the table with them, and
probably her manager, Jack Antonoff. Don't ask me how I know that.
It's all in there, Beth.
It's all in there. That's exactly right. It's all in there.
But another artist was coming up to the table, and her name is Coco Jones. She has a couple of nice hits,
I remember
ICU and all
Coco
this.
Jones from Disney Channel days.
I don't, and that's what they said too. Yeah, that her start was with Disney. I'm like, oh, she don't look familiar to me, but you know, she's on the scene now as this
She got
like
a
new.
great voice.
Yes, yeah, and she seems sweet. I like her. But she's on the scene as a new artist and stuff. But the clip was showing that Taylor was already talking to Ice Spice and this other dude. Could have been her manager. I don't know what her manager looks like, but I don't know. And Coco comes up, and so Taylor extended her hand out to Coco and was like, "Hi, I'm Taylor. Nice to meet you." And it was like, it was so just look at her. Like, that's a true humble person, because of course
Because
everyone
she
knows
stuck
who
her
she
hand
is.
out and
And
said, "I'm Taylor."
yeah, like it was like, you know, she's remaining humble and just,
Okay.
you know, that's good manners and stuff, because
Right.
nowadays people, and I was just like, oh, I mean, yeah, it was nice, but it wasn't like she wrote a whole new book on, you know, it's just funny how like even her the smallest actions are just woof, taken to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
What you smacking on that? What,
I'm not
you all
smacking
right?
it. I'm just saying, yeah.
No, you had
I've
something in your
decided.
mouth, because you sound out of breath just now. You said, yeah. That was after a
Really,
swallow, Beth,
Dawn.
of some sort.
I had an ice cube in my mouth.
Told you, don't act like a, don't make it seem like I'm crazy. I know sounds. That was a whole, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just an ice cube. I got some water, but it's room temperature, so I needed some ice in it. So anyway, I've decided that I probably won't. Well, yes, I will speak on Taylor Swift, but
I'm not even gonna lie to myself.
I think
Long pause.
Yes. I'm just trying if it's for I feel like her fandom sometimes she's probably even not as it's probably not her, it's probably sometimes that fandom that makes
I
it,
can see that. Yeah.
you know,
That once it
makes
comes
it
off,
amplifies
spill
everything.
off on her, like that's her, but it's not even her. It's just what
It's
the pedestal
the
that
fans will
everyone
make
else
you,
is putting
so
her.
she could be a great artist, she could be all this stuff, and you might be willing to give her a try and say, you know, I don't know Taylor Swift, I'm going to listen to her and see what all the hype is about. But her fans will make you not want to, because not her just normal everyday fans, but the the diehard Swifties
The
sometimes.
fanatics.
Yeah, the fanatics. They come so hard sometimes. It's like, okay, I mean, she's just a person. She's great, and she might be people's hero, you know, certain people's hero who they look up to and has maybe truly been an inspiration for them. But when it comes down to it, she's just a person. So all the
Extra.
adoration, the undying adoration for her just is just like overboard for me sometimes.
I can get that. I get that. That makes sense.
You can't even say
Listen,
anything.
speaking of overboard, I'm about to be on board here in a little bit.
That's right.
Oh, Beth.
Are you excited? I'm excited for you because
I'm
the weather is beautiful down here right
I hear
now,
that. Yep, I heard
and
that.
you're going to get here, and it's going to put you, if you're excited now, once your plane touches down in the Sunshine State and then you feel that warm sun on you, it's going to make you that much more ready to
I'm
go.
ready. I'm looking at my bag. I did end up getting a few items in my suitcase I have to finish after this, because again, we leave out, it's Saturday. I'm going to post this on Sunday. So by the time this is posted and everyone's had a chance to at least wake an eye and listen and subscribe, y'all. We can't stress enough. But anyway, when it
Let's tell them
listen,
where they can listen on Spotify, Apple,
yes, Amazon,
iHeart, Amazon, They can subscribe on all of those as well, and then they can follow us on our Instagram page. I ain't
Beth,
saying,
you
but
know
I'm
the
saying.
page? Beth, what happened? You
I ain't
can't do
saying, but
it.
I'm saying. They can follow us on there, and they can interact with us. They can ask us questions. They can make comments, and we check
Right.
the page regularly. So,
Exactly. And I'm gonna be posting stuff. So I downloaded Uber. Listen,
yay!
you know what the crazy thing is? So I downloaded it, right?
You
When I
already
went to
had it,
open it,
probably.
yes, it was like welcome back, and I'm like, I was never here, I don't think. But sure enough, I had some like old cars attached, and what I think it was when I lived in Philly, my husband, like there was a restaurant or something I wanted to check out downtown, especially when I first moved there after getting married. Um, and my husband is not about like city traffic. He's like, babe, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to be like driving and all that. So I really wanted to go to this place. And I was just like, well, shoot, we can get an Uber. And I think during that time I had set it up. But then, of course, my husband being the sweet, caring individual that he is, was kind of like, it's all right, come on, let's go. So we end up driving, but I just never, I never did anything with it. So it was already there. I already like did a test run of putting in my locations, the starting point and where I wanted to go. And the rate was good. I mean, I thought for what I'm a big stickler on, you got to pay to play. So if it's going to cost money, either you do it or you don't.
Right.
So with, the Uber app, I put in, the airport, the Fort Lauderdale airport to Miami. Um, one of the options, there's different rates, but one of the options like $36. I was like, that's not bad at all. That's gas money. I would give somebody that for gas, even maybe a little bit more. So I was expecting maybe an outrageous rate. And of course, it can go high if you want the, what is it, Uber
Uber
Black.
X or the Uber
Yeah,
Black. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Like that's like, okay, no, I ain't trying to do all that. So I got that ready. I got my documents all printed off. Fun fact, if you're thinking about cruising, haven't cruised and just want to know or getting ready to, and I'm glad I double checked, because what it was a question actually my mom asked about um what to use for identification. I was like, oh, we can just use an ID and birth certificate if we don't have a passport, which I just need to get a passport. I need to just hunker down and do it, which I'm going to. But I was like, being that the cruise starts in the US and ends in the US, we can use an ID and a birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget the question that she asked. It was something about the name. I was like, oh no, that should be good. But I was like, let me just call and be sure. So I called Royal Caribbean. It turns out, long story short, if you're going to use an ID and you're going to use your birth certificate as your forms instead of a passport, you have to bring proof as to why your last names do not match. And I was just like, oh my good, I'm so glad. So, like in my case, my course state ID last name is not going to match my birth certificate last name because I'm married. So for
Right.
me, I got to bring my marriage certificate. Now, to bypass all that, if you're not trying to dig and try to get forms and stuff, get a passport. Because if you have a passport, that's it. That's all you need. But it was just a
Did they
little
say
fun
that was a
fact.
new thing?
Um, I don't know if it's a
I,
new thing, but the guy, he was like, yeah, if your names are not, and that's what I thought too, because I've
I
used,
1,000 times. I
yeah.
mean, I have a passport, but at one point my passport had expired, and I
Hmm.
had not gotten a new one yet. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten on a cruise with a
I think it is
birth
newer
certificate
because
and a driver's license, and of course my, like you said, driver's license doesn't match my birth certificate, and they never want. I don't even know if I have a marriage certificate.
now I know, and that's what I was thinking too. I felt like I think this may be newer only because even when me and my husband first got married, now the reason I needed my birth certificate was my ID. What was it? When my ID didn't match. No. Why did I need the
I don't know,
birth
but you just
certificate?
went on a cruise like 2 years ago. Did you have to bring your marriage license then?
Mm, did I? I think
I
I
don't
did
remember
just
you.
in case. I don't know.
I don't remember you mentioning it. But
But we,
I can't tell you how many I've been on without. I don't even know if the marriage certificate exists.
what you mean?
I mean, I know I got one, but I have
Oh,
no
you mean
idea
like just
where.
in general? I
I have
got you.
no idea. If you were to ask me to pull out my marriage certificate,
Well, listen,
could not do that.
I was a little worried because so when the guy said it, my first thing was like my mom. Now, of course, my dad, he passed away a couple of years ago. But I was just thinking, I'm like, would she have it? Now my girl was on it. She's ready. She has her marriage certificate and everything. It was already handy. But I'm like, for those who have been married years and years and years, like, man, that's woof. But so we got all that. We're both squared away. We got all of our documents. The last thing I have to do is just check in, I guess, for the airline. But it's like it's winding down. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
know
I'm
that
about
is
to be.
so. I know the feeling. I know the feeling of it, man. And it's so exciting. And to me, if there isn't chaos going on around me when it's time for a cruise and time for me to get ready and pack, then I ain't going on a cruise. If there isn't like 1,000 things that I need to do and I'm not up until 4:00 the night before we leave and our flight leaves at 6, am I even traveling? No.
This ain't right. Something's missing.
Something's wrong. Right. If I have everything, I can't have everything packed and ironed and house cleaned and everything put away. If I'm not frazzled and running around to the very last second, then
it don't
I'm
seem
not
right.
going nowhere. Right. I am not going anywhere. So
and that's the thing. So it's like, not only am I packing, my husband, he's going to, because again, he's just awesome. He's going to stay behind with our little one. Like, I mean, even as far as like, he took time off of work to be home with her.
That is like awesome.
But I'm like, I got to make sure to have clothes out for her because his matching skills leaves a lot to the imagination.
Maybe
so I'm like,
tell Celeste it's Spirit Week at school.
What I told him was, I'm like, listen, I'm going to set her clothes out. I said, now they're not day specific, but keep the sets together. Don't go in there trying to,
don't go all rogue on me, all willy-nilly.
Right, to where I'm coming back from my trip and having to answer emails as why my baby going to school looking like little orphan Annie because she got on some. And
can I tell you a story?
Yes.
Or am I cutting you off?
No, go ahead, buddy.
So listen, this is back when my middle child was she was a newborn. I mean, like she was under a year. I would say 3 or 4 months. And she is a January baby. So it was very cold outside and it was a lot of snow. And so I had my husband get her ready because we were about to go. Okay. So he gets her. Have I told you the story before? I probably have. So he gets her all dressed and ready. We go out and about to do our things, and I stop at a friend's house before we come home. And I take the carrier. I mean, she's under 3 months, I think, at this point. So she's, newbornish. And I take the carrier. She's sleeping, so I take the whole carrier and take it into the house so I don't have to disturb her. Right. And then I'm checking on her. But I noticed that my little girl is sweating. I mean, like sweating. And I'm like, oh, shoot, let me get her out of this stuff because I got her all bundled up and I can probably unzip her snowsuit and everything else so that she's not so hot. And so I start undoing her things, and she's like, she is wet, like her body is wet from sweat. And I'm like, shoot, let me undress my girl. So I get her all undressed. So I go to take off her snowsuit. Fine. I go to unzip. She's in her onesie because that's what newborns wear all the time. And so I undo her onesie, unsnap it so that I can like ventilate her a little bit and then just have her, it was a footed onesie, you know what I mean? Like a one-piece onesie, all enclosed. And then I was going to unsnap it so that she could breathe, and she had her onesie underneath it, like the diaper, like the onesie you put on above the diaper. Okay. I go to unsnap her footed onesie to let her breathe. Why is there another footed onesie on underneath that? So she had on, no wonder my girl was on fire. She had on a snowsuit, a hat, a onesie, a full footed onesie, full length, another footed onesie, and then the onesie, the little plain white onesie that goes over her diaper, like her little t-shirt. Yeah. But my husband got her dressed. I'm like, what? Why does he have on fire? I said, why does she have on 2 onesies, like 2 outfits? So I called my husband. I'm like, why did you put her in 2 onesies? He said the package said 2 in 1. I said,
I was
I
not
said,
expecting that.
it just meant that there were 2. You got 2 in the pack. It didn't mean you have to put 2 of them on her. He was just following directions, I guess. I don't know.
I can't. My head hurts. I can't breathe.
Oh my goodness.
We got so much stuff lined up. We're gonna have to have a whole episode on husbands and men in general. Because
I was like, oh my goodness.
It said 2 in 1. Oh my word. Baby almost passed out from heat stroke.
She sure did. In January.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, on that note, Beth,
man, this podcast has been all over the place.
All over the place, and I love it.
Man.
Every bit of it. Every bit of it.
Oh my gosh.
It said 2 in 1. No, again, my cheeks hurt, Beth. I promise you, if you can feel my cheeks right now, they're so tight from smiling.
I was so, at the time, I can look and laugh now. At the time, I was like,
furious.
I couldn't believe it. We were young parents, but still. I mean, come on. Oh, man.
Oh, this has been another great one. Friends, thank y'all for being with us with these shenanigans. So I'm hopefully have a safe trip and make it back to y'all so I can give y'all all the updates.
Waiting. So excited.
Yeah, on the trip and everything. And I'm glad we were able to get a podcast in before, you know what I mean? Like it'll stay on schedule. So we're gonna get back with y'all and make it do what it do. As always, thank you for listening. Please subscribe if you like it. Tell friends. Tell your folks. Like, hey, you gotta check these chicks out because yes, we are crazy. We own every bit of it. But whew.
Tell me how you like my performance at the Super Bowl.
Oh. My mama bought me almonds. We got to talk about that. I'm telling you, the material, y'all, the stuff that we had to talk about. Just thinking about it cracks me up. Okay.
Man. All right.
It's been another great episode of I Ain't Saying,
But I'm Saying.
We're going to catch y'all later. Peace.
Bye.